This is the video description of the job called MarkM GRE, which was a construction delay and defect case about a building in Hollywood, Florida that the owners, GRE, had contracted Burke Construction Company to make some modifications to. This is a picture of the original building. They were going to expand some of the upper floors and redo the facade of the building. There were, here's another shot of the front of the building. Pretty standard construction case, and then sort of an architectural rendering of what the planned modifications were supposed to look like. We're going to expand the size of some of the upper floors, redo the roof and the parapet, and add new glass facade on the bulk of the building. It turned out that the construction company basically messed up the project. They began their work in 2013, and the idea was to have it done 240 days later, and they never did make that. And in addition to not making the deadline, they left the building in such a state that tenants had to move out. After they opened up and removed the exterior of the building, they ended up with exposed interiors. Office space was open to the weather, and their temporary sheet covers, plywood walls and plastic sheeting and so forth, just didn't do the trick of keeping out the rain. The rain penetrated the building, got even the occupied tenant spaces wet during the rainstorms, forcing a whole lot of tenants to move out. So in addition to the construction delay, the owners were claiming loss of revenue due to the fact that the tenants could not use their office space. It was just a mess. And so rent-paying tenants had to move out, which left the owner without income in addition to the expense of his renovations. So building was left kind of in a mess, and at the end of the contract period in October, it was still exposed and opened, and now begins the delay period, which lasted for another 239 days till they could put tenants back in place. So in addition to the construction delay, they had the costs to reconstruct, damages from tenant evacuation, and liquidated damages for penalties for 239 days. And they're asking for $4.3 million. So this was a job that was basically done by Michael Mason and Steve Brocious. We had envisioned early on maybe making a DASNY-like 3D building so we could show the progress, and it turned out it didn't need to be that elaborate. The photos told the story. We added the timeline at the bottom, and it was a pretty simple, straightforward job.